Arrogance is believing those that disagree with you don't understand and you only need to explain it better. It could be they understand too well, but can see something you missed. If you believe that you can create utopia through controlling others, selectively silencing those that disagree, controlling what you teach children, then no matter how smart you think you are, you have learned nothing from history. If there is one path tried throughout history, it is one man or a small group of people who are so arrogant as to believe they can do good by controlling what everyone sees and hears. I'm sure you're thinking, this is different because in the past the message wasn't understood, because the messenger wasn't able to articulate it right, or they turned to violence, forgetting to just convince through words. No matter how good the idea, you can't force others to listen, and all you end up doing is forcing those that understand to stop what they are doing, to focus on standing against you, while they are trying to repair the damage your arrogance has done. They are unable to contribute to the only real process that has a hope, evolution of thought through challenging of ideas. The error is leaders of a movement might for a while be able to behave like a parent of a toddler, but eventually the child grows, and at some point, quote unquote, because I told you so, isn't good enough anymore. Free will is a constant in humanity, and each generation decides what is important. Each generation has new challenges. These are just a few that I could think of off the top of my head. 1. Adults want to give their kids what they don't have. That's human nature. 2. Adults want to save their children from making the same mistakes they made. That's empathy. 3. Adults think saying all the right things is all that matters, forgetting that child has eyes as well as ears. That's arrogance. 4. Adults fail to understand they can teach the mechanics of thoughts, but having no frame of reference, a child might not understand why your generation restricted certain behavior. That's not only arrogant, that's stupid. 5. No matter how wise you are, errors will seep in over time, either through adults being too overprotective or failing to set healthy boundaries. Children will find their own friends and interests. What they can't find is parents and role models that have consistent rules and boundaries that are both taught through words, but who actually live those ideas, showing by example. That's called personal responsibility, self-respect, and trust of the children's ability to reason. 6. With all the above, there must come a time when a child must learn from experience. Adults need to show understanding. Let the child know through actions that they'll be there, you'll be there, with guidance and unconditional love, no matter what decisions they make. Again, empathy, respect, and trust. 7. You do your child no favors by rescuing them from the repercussions of their actions. Helping a few times, yes, that makes sense, but always be vigilant that you allow them to feel the results of their actions. It is far easier for them to learn a hard lesson the first time than get used to the ideal you will always rescue them. Again, that's called being able to stand up for yourself. And eventually we adults die, and they're going to be left having to pick up the pieces. You might ask how this applies to tyranny. Because a parent wields for a short time absolute authority. But it's foolish to believe that the level of blind obedience will last forever. For a while, the tyranny of the majority will seem to work, but eventually young citizens will leave adolescence and start asking, why? If what you create is unable to adapt, it cannot long survive. History does repeat itself, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try to avoid it for as long as possible. Earth will never be a paradise or heaven. It is a place of learning. While I believe there is an intelligent design, Earth was handed to us. If it looks like purgatory to you, the fault is ours. And it looks this way for 3 reasons. 1, what we have done. 2, what we failed to do. And 3, what lessons we failed to learn when we fall. On average, you can't force others to learn, so your focus should center more on what you can learn, not on blaming others and thinking they are the only ones that is responsible for learning this lesson. Stop looking for solutions outside of your own conscious thoughts. Thank you. Pride brings its own set of blinders. We can see arrogance in others just fine, and it turns our stomach, but we carefully rationalize and excuse our own. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Quote, Winston Churchill. Lest you think I'm hypocritical, I fully understand we are flawed, including myself. Errors are always going to seep in. That is why Earth will never be a paradise. We are here to learn, but no one should believe they alone have the answers. These are my opinions. I'm confident that at the very least they can do no harm, and I would not share these thoughts if I thought they could not be improved on. I want to participate in making life here better, not ram my thoughts down everyone else's throats.